Well, welcome to an interesting Let's Play here at Terrio Studios. We are back in No Man's Sky. Now, if you had told me at the end of August that on November 28th I would be making another No Man's Sky Let's Play, I would have said, well, Sean Murray, that is an interesting proposition, but it seems unlikely. But here we are. They just released a huge update since I'm one of, I guess, the few people who didn't demand a refund when this game came out. They released a huge update. The Foundation update adds a lot of really interesting stuff. So let's check it out. All right. So first things first. There's base building now, and you can build bases yourself. I tried out some stuff in creative mode, and I'll probably show you guys that in a bit, but there's base building. You can build them yourselves, or you can find the beginnings of habitable bases on planets. Like you can see this one here. I did a scan of the system and found this, and I have not been to it yet, but we're going there now. And there's some little things. They said they updated their planet generating or their landscape, their terrain building algorithms, so the planets won't hopefully be quite so weird. They've put specific plants in specific biomes. I feel like they've done something to improve the frame rate because I feel like the movement on the ground is a little better than it was before. Let me land. Let me land. Okay. Graceful. Couldn't have done it any better myself. Buinsuke Buka. It says sentinels will attack on sight. Well, that's okay. It's got a great weapon. So, here's a base. The base building seems to be very similar to Subnautica. I actually haven't unlocked any of the base building. I just don't have the right resource for that. I haven't unlocked any of the schematics for building the bases, but here it is. So I can go in, and this will be the device in which I claim the base if I intend to claim the base. This is for if you claim a new base and you had stuff in your old one, it'll all get cached in this object here. And these are portals. This one's of course not active yet. These portals, the way they make it so that you don't feel like you have to claim a new base on every system that you go to, these portals are all accessible from freighters and space stations. So you can claim a planet with a home base on it in some system, jump 100 systems away, and still be able to easily get back and forth between those systems and your base via the use of these teleporters. So let me gather some resources. Is there any iron? Okay, so you'll see they've updated the HUD, some of the icons. So you see there's zinc over there. There's some plutonium, zinc, platinum, and there's some exotic minerals over there. There's little graphical reworkings. Now if you hit up on the D-pad, because I'm playing on PS4, that'll be where you access all your little buildables. And down, you can do a couple of things. You can charge your items, toggle your flashlight, and you can call your freighter. So there's my freighter. Kaboom. They are pretty expensive, but the thing is that because there was really nothing to buy in No Man's Sky until besides ships and what if you felt so inclined to purchase resources for any reason, I had easily enough money to buy a freighter when I stumbled across one that I liked. And it's accessible just the same way your starship and your exosuit is here when you hit the touchscreen, and they seem to be able to hold. They can stack twice as much as stacks in the storage containers on your ship. Um, Whereas you can get 500 here, you can put 1,000 in a ship. And I noticed they also changed some of the stacking mechanics. These kind of trade commodities used to be able, some of them could stack to 10 or 100, but now they all seem to be capped at 5, as well as the dynamic resonators. I know you could stack those to 100, and those have been adjusted to 5. This is a new element that I got off some of the Sentinels. Pugnium, the substance that leaks from the circuitry of defeated drones. I held onto it because I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be used in any sort of schematics that I might unlock. Um, but yeah, those are all just little things. Is there no iron on this planet? Well, I may go somewhere else then. All right, so the audio, I guess, cut out while I was recording this, and I didn't notice. So right now I'm just watching the footage back, and I will be discussing it as we watch it, and probably editing a bunch of stuff out because I do a lot of wandering. We're coming up to my freighter, and just here in a sec, once I get close to it, we will fly into the hangar bay, and I'll be able to give you guys a better sense of what these player-owned freighters are really capable of. So right here you'll see you can talk to the commander, say transfer inventory, but you can just access this from the menu, so I'm not really sure why they built this redundancy in. The commander's only other function is as a reward giver, because there are times when fleets in star systems will be under attack by pirates, and you have the option to save them or not save them. And if you do, you can then fly onto the ship and talk to the commander, and he'll give you a reward. They still haven't, I think, added the faction combat, so it doesn't really seem to matter so much just yet if you protect them or don't protect them. But hopefully we'll get that in the future. So here it works here in the ship just about the same as it would on a planet. And you see I can't build any of these modules because I just don't have any iron in my storage, so I can't build any of these modules. But you see how it would work in theory. You just are able to expand and build as you see fit. There's other room parts. You can build ladders and another variety of things for stuff that I don't have blueprints for right now. And there's also specialist terminals. You see that I've already built a construction terminal over there. I can go to a space station and hire an alien to sit there and manufacture blueprints all day for me if I felt so inclined. And you can also change the color, make it all interesting, So yeah, the ships are pretty big. It does take a while to kind of walk through all the little corridors to get back out to the hangar. But I really like the aesthetic. I mean, the No Man's Sky aesthetic, for all the game's initial flaws, it was a very pretty game. With the exception of all the horrible, desolate, rocky planets, which I think they may have adjusted, because I haven't really encountered any super desolate planets like it seemed to use to come across all the time. So here I'm going to show a new function, or at least I think this is what I'm about to do, but there's a new scanning function when you approach planets that at any sort of planet, whether you've explored it or not, you can now scan them from space. So I think I'm going to try it out on this one. You'll press L3 to scan like you would on the surface of a planet. And then a little drop-down menu and you'll be able to see what resources are primarily located on the surface of that planet. So I just hit up this manufacturing facility, and now I'm looking at this exotic material. And it says that to collect it, I need hazmat gauntlets, which I don't have a blueprint for. As you'll see, I'm going to try to see if I can craft it, but I am unable, so I'm not sure how to get that blueprint, but yeah, you can't mine it. You need those gauntlets. And so it seems like they're adding interesting other little exosuit upgrades to allow your player to gather I don't know, more stuff, since I think they're trying to diversify the building tree, the crafting tree. So it's not all just the same material. So now I'm going to build the signal booster so I can go try to hunt down some other buildings, see if I can try to find this blueprint. So yeah, boop, boop, boop. Operations center detected. You still can't seem to fly very close to the surface, which is unfortunate, but whatever. You can still be inverted. So, spoiler alert, we're going to blast our way in, and nothing interesting will happen. So this, I think, was the last thing I did in this video. I hopped back in my ship. There's an incoming storm. I'm going to show you one of the new ways. Instead of going into the menu, you can just recharge your launch thrusters by pressing down on the D-pad and going to where that is. So it just makes it's a little more intuitive. It doesn't break the immersion so much as having to jump into the menu every time you need to refuel something. So I thought that was a neat little addition, but I'm going to pop over to this outpost, sell a few things, show you one more little quick thing, and then that'll wrap up the video. Alright, so there's one final feature I want to show you before the end of the video. I'm popping in the menu and enable the photo mode, which basically just gets rid of the HUD. So you'll just get no notifications if anything bad is happening to you. But take some cool little cinematic moments, even though there still is that horrible vignetting around the whole of the screen. But yeah, it's just pretty neat. So that is the a preliminary introduction to the No Man's Sky Foundation update, which you'd think you'd put the foundation in with the bulk of the game, but you don't. So whatever. That's No Man's Sky.